everyone, Fantasy Dancer here and welcome to our variation series. This week we're doing variations on our Tom Collins from Monday. So our first one here, we're actually using Old Tom Gin. I've got Hayman's Old Tom Gin here, partly because I really like Hayman's. I've had other gins that they've done before, but also partly because it was actually the only Old Tom Gin I could find. It's not very common, but it's really delicious if you can find it. It's sweeter than a London Dry Gin, and it makes a really big difference to the drinks. We're gonna give it a try. Yeah, it definitely sweetens it up a bit, even smooths it out a little. You don't get as many of those herbal notes in it. It's definitely more citrusy than herbally this time. But that is as close as I could make to the original Tom Collins. So for this one, it was 1.5 ounces of Old Tom Gin, 1 ounce of lemon juice, 1/2 ounce of simple syrup, and 2 ounces of club soda. Next up, we have another classic gin drink called the Gin Rickey. Now, I decided to do drinks like this instead of making or creating my own variations because there's so many drinks that are kind of similar. This one has ingredients very similar to a Tom Collins, but instead of lemon juice, we use lime. And we're gonna see how that tastes. You know, this drink also calls for a little bit more club soda. I think I probably would have kept it to just the 2 ounces though, otherwise, because it does dilute it a little bit. Yeah, even though there's more gin in this one by about 1/2 ounce, you actually don't get as much because of the club soda. But that's the Gin Rickey. We used 2 ounces of our Beefeater Gin, 1/2 ounce of lime juice, 1/4 ounce of simple syrup, and about 3 ounces of club soda. And our last variation is this lovely frothy concoction here. So this is a Gin Fizz. Basically identical to the Tom Collins we made in Monday's video, but we added egg white, which some people would argue that it's now called a Silver Fizz, but you get both by the same name, so we're gonna give that a try. Something about adding egg white just changes the texture so dramatically, and it makes it smooth and fluffy. Because we use Beefeater Gin again in this one, you do get more of those herbal notes, but it's still sweet, and just something about the texture change really makes a big difference to the drink. But that's our Gin Fizz. For this recipe, we used 1.5 ounces of our Beefeater Gin, 1 ounce of lemon juice, 1/2 ounce of simple syrup, 1 egg white, and 2 ounces of club soda. And for these variations, I definitely have to say I'm a big fan of the original Tom Collins here. Something about that Old Tom Gin just sweetens it up enough, and I'm definitely a fan of the sweeter drinks, but that's our variations for this week. I hope you liked the video and enjoyed the drinks. Subscribe to follow along and check out some of our other variations, and please drink responsibly.